Okay. Alright, we are going to do the starboard side now. Obviously you already saw the V-berth. And this is the door to the head. Got a mirror there. Full length. Okay, and then coming in. So this is I replaced the faucet and the sink. And this faucet doesn't have a diverter. The shower used to be hooked up to the old plastic faucet, and it had a diverter. And then it just hung the head up on the wall. But I took it out because it's just a lot of hauling water, and I don't really want to haul water. But there's the grate at the bottom, so it does drain out. And also we have this guy that you put down over it. So, voila. And then you have a medicine cabinet, both sides here. Cool. That's got a mirror too. And then the top space that also is for storage. I had a basket up there. And the waterworks. When we redid this countertop, we did it out of ASIC, and you can see, if I orient you here, where it's been cut, it's hard to clean, so you're going to want to paint that probably, because only the finished surface seems to do okay with that. And here's a wider view of the upside, a little towel guy there. Alright, I don't know if I can back out of that any better, but how's that? Hopefully I'm not making you guys nauseous. Alright, so that's the head. And then we're going to come back to the compression post here. I replaced the compression post. The guy before me had beat like a 4x4 into place. As you can see, he jacked up the fiberglass a little bit. And this was the source of the worst leak that was on this boat. I don't know if you can see the foot there. And then the wires, if you can peek that, so the wires are coming down. The worst leak on the boat, and it was because the pipe that the wires come through, it was almost flush with the deck. So when I redid the rigging last year, the rigger had a new fiberglass pipe. So now there is a pipe of appropriate height to keep the water from coming down that. It was coming down the starboard side a bit. So anyway, new compression post, new pipe, and then all up in here was stuffed with epoxy up around inside there, around the new fiberglass pipe. Okay, so port lights, the dinette. There's of course storage behind this one and that one, and all the way underneath. I'm going to try to back up and give you a better overall of that. When my dad and I did a bunch of work in here, including the refrigerator, Hunter had cabinets that leaned back, which made the first like 3 inches of the storage space unusable, because then anything here would get in the way of the door sliding. So we put them upright. So there's still, you'll notice, some trim pieces missing where it needs trim, like over here. That needs to be painted or finished or trimmed or something. Anyway, and yeah, like here we're missing a trim piece here. I don't know if you can see that. So here's the galley, and again I changed the cabinets from the Hunter stock cabinets. Basically, and again they were leaned back, which was just a pain in the neck. So I got these upright, and we have that trimmed. As you can notice, this one's missing a top trim piece. But this had it was the big plates hole, the cup hole, and it was just a huge waste of space. So now I actually keep the plates on top, if you can see that. And the silverware is in a drawer up here, where I just get it from. And then behind the sink, we have cups and stuff. And then there's another big storage cubby in there. And all along here, right? That's a thing of pasta. That helps you see the size relatively. That's where the bilge, the small bilge, goes out. This is the stove and the oven. Again, it's a non-pressurized Origo. So I just found this cutting board and it happens to be a perfect fit for that. So I just attached a little block to it to keep it from coming out. And then I use that to expand the counter space a bit. But yeah, just a non-pressurized Origo stove. If you want to see, it's the two, I mean, they're practically sterno cans. I keep these on to keep all the alcohol from evaporating, basically. And that's that part. And over here to the left, there's a pots and pans unit. Big old space there. I put some cabinet, not cabinet, shelves right here. I don't know if you can see those on the inside for smaller things. And then on the other side is the fridge. And when you pull that out, I don't know if you can see in here, I tried to put things on the shelves to make this easier to see. So basically I shelved it out because it's annoying when it's a giant hole. So there's a plexi shelf where you can see the dish soap sitting, and that's a big L that comes along the side. Underneath of that is a really pretty large space. That's a can of ginger ale sitting in the bottom there. I think you can get more than 2 cases in there and then some. And then this little shelf I did for like eggs and cheese and things that I want to get to quickly. The thing on the bottom is a short thing of celery salt, just to give you an idea of the height. And here's the pepper thing. But like I said, I usually put the eggs there. And then you can see the unit, if I get in here. And that is your freezer. I keep those 2 silicone ice cube trays in there, but you could use it for more practical purposes. I just rather have ice cubes. And there's the control unit for it. Okay, so that is the fridge. Cool. And the sink. It's got a nice new faucet on it. Underneath is all the, you know, dish, just that stuff under the sink. There's obviously a through hole down there. That guy's spinning on me. And then on this side, if I can get it upside down, another cabinet. I have attached a knife block in here so that it can't go anywhere, and I usually keep my Ziploc bags and stuff behind it. And then that's obviously the alcohol for the stove. Okay, alright. Up on top here, there's a little inverter. I haven't used it in forever because I've only been traveling in the boat a little bit lately, a little 7-day or 5-day. So here's another readout with some USB plugs. And on these switches I have the refrigerator and the autopilot, because they're 2 things that it's real easy to accidentally leave on. So I put them both on a switch. And then of course a Perco, and it's fairly new for switching the systems. And in here's the engine. Right, we'll get some close-up shots of that for you later. And I think that's about it for, actually let's look at the bilge while we're at it. This table used to drop. I put a peg in it so that it doesn't, because I don't want people sleeping in my freaking salon anyway. Right. Let's look at the bilge. Like I said, the bilge is pretty dirty, dusty. I would clean it, but it's hard to fake that if you're trying to show how dry it is. She's dry and dirty and dusty, basically. So the float switch for the smaller bilge pump, this one is underneath of the shelf. And then the float switch on top of the shelf is for this big 2,000 gallon an hour one, in case the little one dies or gets overwhelmed. And the little one has a manual switch on the panel. Alright, hopefully I didn't make you seasick.